to open session 10, and I would like to invite our esteemed moderator to introduce our session on SDG localization champions and the 2025 global VLRs that we will be profiling. So Ms. Oddy Angelo, if I can, she is a Human Settlements Officer with UN Habitat's Regional Office. And as you heard on the first day, she leads the work with the Adaptation Fund on climate adaptation, but also on VLRs. So Oddy will be your moderator for our first session today. So over to you. Thank you.
Thank you. Good morning. Good morning, esteemed mayors, esteemed colleagues and friends and all the guests today. I think we have been 2 days, we have 2 days of enjoyable sessions, and there has been a lot of networking, and we have been learning together. So today is our last day of the forum, and I'm sure all of you still have that energy that came from the first day. Yesterday we have this presentation from Japan about launching their own VLRs. So building on that, we will have today our experience from Africa, Latin America, and Asia. So our mayors will share their experience and their process, and I'm sure they're very inspirational for other communities, for other municipalities that want to start their own VLRs. So today's session is, as I mentioned, is a voluntary local reviews. It's a powerful tool for localizing the 2030 agenda and accelerating progress towards the Sustainable Development Goals. So, you know, the 2030 agenda was adopted in 2015 and provides a shared blueprint for peace, prosperity, and sustainability for people and the planet. So while national governments report progress through national reviews, voluntary national reviews, VNRs, it's increasingly clear that local and regional governments are the true frontliners in implementing the SDGs. So this is where VLRs come in. So VLRs are local governments' own assessment, as Sarah has just said, on the progress of their own SDGs. So they foster transparency, inclusive governance, and data-driven decision-making, while enabling peer learning across cities and regions. So today's session brings together inspiring local leaders who are championing this approach in diverse contexts, in Africa, in Latin America, and in Asia. So let me please introduce our esteemed speakers. We will first start with Honorable Norman Alexander Sanchez. He is the mayor of Intibucá, Honduras. Unfortunately, he couldn't be here with us today, but he has sent us a video. Mayor Sanchez has been serving his second term from 2022 to 2026. He is a former primary school teacher and has been engaging in leading his municipality, especially in the sectors of education, agriculture, and health. So his leadership reflects a deep commitment to community empowerment and educational reform. Then next, please, let's welcome Honorable Adam Azim, Mayor of Malay City. So he's leading the capital of one of the world's most climate vulnerable nations. Mayor Azim brings a unique perspective on urban resilience and sustainability in the context of a small island developing state. Please, Honorable Mayor. Thank you. So following that, we will hear from Honorable Tevita Taginavula Boseiwaqa, Chairman and Acting CEO of the Suva City Council, Fiji. With over 30 years in public service, he has led major national reforms, and now he oversees Suva's strategic development. So he also serves as the director of CIRDA, that promotes rural development and across Asia. Thank you, Mayor. Then we will hear from Dr. Kanop Ketchart, Mayor of Nahkon, Thammarat, Thailand. Now he is in his second term. Dr. Ketchart has led the city's transformation through a people-centric smart city approach, including the CTE service, metaverse classroom, and hospitals on wheels, all designed to improve public service delivery and quality of life. Thank you, Mayor. Last but not least, we will hear from Honorable Kapandula and Kalamatila, Executive Mayor of Lufwanyama District, Zambia. She is the first mayor of the district after 8 male mayors in her district. Her leadership focuses on education, youth, employment, infrastructure, and especially water and sanitation. She has been working tirelessly to improve the lives of over 130,000 people in her district. So these leaders today are an example of how local governments are not only implementing the SDGs, but also innovating and lead it with vision and purpose. So today we look forward to their insights, their experience, their innovations, their challenges, and also the messages for the municipalities that will start their BLRs. So maybe we can begin with the video from Honduras, Mayor Norman Sanchez.
Hola, soy.
Hello, I am Norman Sanchez, Mayor of the municipality of Intibucá, located in southwest of our beloved national territory, Honduras. Today, I want to share with you what we are making progress, or how we are making progress toward achieving the SDGs in the 2030 agenda, which has been very interesting and very engaging and very challenging. And to that end, in 2018, we worked on our municipal development strategic plan through 2028, a 10-year planning period. We conducted an evaluation from 2019 to 2023 of how we have been progressing toward meeting the SDGs. This has also allowed us to select which of these 17 goals we are going to work on. I'd like to invite you to this event to see how we are making progress in this municipality of Intibucá. I hope this can serve as a platform for inspiration and that no one is truly left behind. We started the tour, so first let's consider SDGs, which are strong institutions. To this end, the municipality of Intibucá has initiated its strategic planning, implemented its financial planning, and has established macro agreements and letters of understanding with all the cooperation agencies working in the municipality, ensuring quality, effectiveness, and efficiency in the execution of program and project. This involves establishing sectorial committees to ensure continuity and periodically evaluate them, thereby understanding implementation path of each of the goals and selected and aligned in our financial platform to properly measure each of the selected SDGs. In the education's SDG, as you can see, we have made progress in the construction of school modules. We have supported school transportation, also in the provision of school snacks, in the training and the development of teachers in the installation of technology with or without internet. Considering that our municipality is 70% rural, we are therefore obligated, together with the government of the Republic, to generate a better response and support. In this case, 12,000 students, 502 teachers, an average of 154 educational centers. In SDGs number 5, so gender, it's also important to mention that I am part of the Gender Commission at the national level within the Association of Municipalities, so I can address various issues and establish a better advocacy platform in our municipality. We have implemented the right guarantee system and are supported by cooperation institutions as well as justice officials to follow up on compliance and respond to cases of abuse and domestic violence against women. It is also important to know that the women's sectors in the municipality of Intibucá is organized at the community sector on the municipal level. The Women's Network is currently in the process of obtaining legal status so that they can participate much more effectively in their decisions and take more sustainable actions. In SDG 6, with clean water and basic sanitation, we are joining in 74 communities where we are currently advancing close to 60% of the investment in drinking water project, the incorporation of micro metering, but also the creation of the photo book for women, because at the end of the day, water management is much better managed by women due to access, training, and knowledge about their family. Also, with basic sanitation, we are significantly reducing the impact of respiratory diseases, but also of diarrheal diseases that are very common in our context due to the conditions of education, but also due to the conditions of poverty. In order to implement these processes, not only water suitable for consumption, but quality water, also improving these education and health indicators. And also we are working with the renewable energy, and there we are working with the integration of solar panels, especially in the most distant municipal context with greater dispersion to minimize the cost in implementation of these projects, but also to generate opportunities for more than 2,000 families who are currently receiving this benefit with their participation in its administration, and with its also direct support in administration. And the SDGs 8, we are working with economic growth, and here we have created a local economic development office which integrates private enterprise, micro and entrepreneurs from the market, our producers, youth networks, and women's networks to participate in this link in this productive chain and to be much more significant in the areas of production, productivity, and marketing of their product, generating better conditions for better between consumers and producers. And the current goal is to build a mega supply center where the project profile and project design will be developed to seek funding and implement this project. In SDGs 9, we are working with an industry and also with innovation. In this sense, to achieve this very important objective, we are working on access to productive road and also access to bridgeways, and that is those where it is difficult to enter by a vehicle because our context being rural and mountainous has also not been intentionally developed with government funds, and the municipality has had to invest funds in dirt road. But we have made significant progress in paving in the urban context. The work being done with the fund should be very important here, but significant progress is being made on pavement and urban context. Here we should promote a differentiated initiative to achieve better access to production lands, whether for coffee, potatoes, and strawberries or other products grown in our territory. Follow the goal of Sustainable Development 11, we are working on smart cities. We are working on sustainable communities, cities, and communities. In this regard, we are already working on a land use plan, which only needs to be legalized through the agency with the consent of the government of the Republic. We are implementing sustainable urban mobility plan with the participation of civil society. We are also incorporating walkable city, a city for living together, and a city with improved security. In this sense, we invite you to visit us in Intibucá, where we have these conditions, and that's being worked on to better serve domestic and international tourists. Finally, Objective 13, for which a strategy on food security and climate change policies are also being developed, considering that our potential and our conditions allow us not only to generate production for biological use, but also production for the economy, for access, but also to generate better income conditions for the families and community and municipality. In that sense, it's an effort that's underway, and one we hope to continue to promote with the help of each and every one of you who today allow us to share these advances made by the municipality of Intibucá in meeting the Sustainable Development Goals. As you have seen and observed, this is a route being undertaken by the municipality of Intibucá, which is home to 74,000 inhabitants across the 537.5 kilometer territory, and we have the enormous responsibility of supporting them. We have also seen the transition we have made, which is food systems, to be able to guarantee the environment and the context in which we live. In a mountainous context, a rural ethnic context, but also one with a mountain tourism platform, with religious tourism, with urban tourism, with extraordinary agroclimatic and conditions due to its locations in the mountains in southwestern Honduras, but also due to the agricultural diversification that our territory offers. So we thank everyone who organized this important international event, allowing us to share a bit of Honduras and the municipality of Intibucá with you. So we also appreciate this opportunity, which we believe will serve to continue promoting the goals of sustainable development from a local, national, and global perspective, leaving no one behind. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Mayor Sanchez. So I will some takeaways from his presentation and from the work that he has been doing in his municipality. So this VLR was initiated in 2019-2023, and it has a very strong ownership by the municipality. So it was linked to the 10-year municipal development plan 2018-2028, which provided a clear roadmap for the SDG localization in Intibucá municipality. So they have already conducted like a mid-term evaluation to track their progress. So Mayor Sanchez highlighted very much about the strong participation from youth, women, educators, and civil society. So during the process of the VLR, they ensured that there was no one left behind. So he also highlighted about the strong participation of the women's networks. So now those women networks are formalizing their legal status to enhance sustainability and decision making. So he also mentioned that the role of women is very strong on the water resources. So they have been investing, after they have launched their VLR, they have been already investing in infrastructure, and some of the infrastructure comes from the municipality-owned resources, not from the central government. So they have been providing school meals, teachers training, and digital access. They have been working on water projects that are being implemented in different areas of the municipality. The municipality has about 75,000 inhabitants. So they have been also working on electricity, providing solar panels projects that have benefited already over 2,000 families in the municipality. So as you have seen in the photos, access is very difficult. So they have been working again with their own resources to build roads, these earthen roads and also paving roads, to have access to the markets because they produce strawberries, potatoes, so it's a way for them to improve their livelihoods. And he also highlighted about the municipality's strategy that is integrated with climate resilience, and they're focusing on food. So as we have seen, this has been a very inclusive process, and it's already undergoing, and they are tracking the progress of their SDG localization. So with this, I will invite Mayor Azim from Maldives to share his experience. Please, Honorable Mayor.
Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Good morning, distinguished delegates, colleagues, and friends. It is a privilege to speak today at session 10 of the SDG Localization Champion and 2025 Global Voluntary Local Review Dialogues. I bring you greetings from the Mala city, the capital of Maldives, the sunny side of life, a city that stands at the front line of climate vulnerability and urban resilience. Today, we reflect on our journey in localizing the Sustainable Development Goals, not just as a reporting exercise, but as a transformative process for our city and its people. Next slide. Our presentation today is structured in 5 key parts. Number 1, an introduction to Mal City unique context. Number 2, the key challenges we face. Number 3, how we integrated climate resilience into our voluntary local review. Number 4, the challenges we encountered during the process. Number 5, the policy impacts our roadmap into moving forward. Mal City is home to 41% of the country's population, yet it occupies only 8.3 square kilometers. This density, combined with our geographic vulnerability, makes SDG localization not important but urgent. This also means 41% of the nation's populations are managed by Mal City Council. Hence, the magnitude of its contribution to the national output is significant. Even if we look at it from the perspective of climate change, bringing change at Mal City will contribute immensely to national goals. Next slide. Mal City is one of the world's lowest lying capitals, situated just 1 meter above sea level. Our urban landscape is shaped by high population density, climate risks, and social disparity. Today, we host over 263,000 people, including 51,000 foreign residents on a small island. Our government has evolved significantly over time, from municipal office opened in 1956 to its dissolution in 1962. The responsibilities for transfer to the Land Registration Division under the Ministry of Home Affairs 1982. Again, it was reopened as Mal City Municipality in 1982, and finally to the establishment of the Mal City Council in 2011, following the institutional decentralization introduced in 2008. While this progression may appear smooth on paper, one of the main challenges we face in addressing climate change is the lack of multi-governmental coordination and collaboration. Let me now address the questions posed to me today on how we have embedded climate resilience in the voluntary local review VLR process. The VLR has helped define the roles of our stakeholders and provided a platform for meaningful local government actions in response to climate challenges. It is part of my vision to transform Mal City from a municipal service provider into an institution that truly caters to social needs. However, I must also emphasize the limitations we face due to constrained resources and capacity, which hinders this transformational change. Our voluntary local review VLR journey has reached 2 milestones. The international launch on 27 September 2025 in Goyang City, South Korea, where we had the opportunity to share our experiences alongside global peers. The local launch, scheduled for early November 2025, will bring our community and stakeholders together to reflect on the outcomes and shape the next steps. As shown in the diagram, there have been multiple engagements between the VLR team and our stakeholders. These interactions will be highlighted later in the presentations. These milestones reflect our deep commitment to transparency, collaboration, and global solidarity in advancing the Sustainable Development Goals. While the project took longer than we initially anticipated, it was a valuable learning experience. Moreover, I was in New Delhi just last week attending the ARISE Forum hosted by ICLEI. The forum will culminate in the New Delhi Declaration, which is set to submit at COP30. Having a strong climate perspective in our VLR is helping raise awareness from the global South's point of view, bringing our voices and experiences to the global stage. Given our vulnerability to sea level rise and extreme weather, climate resilience was embedded as a cross-cutting priority in our SDG localization strategy. We aligned the VLR with our strategic action plan, focusing on here in this diagram. As you can see, We have embedded climate change in the efficient governance, social and economic prosperity, and urban infrastructure development that includes developing a disaster management plan, enhancing stormwater management systems by routine maintenance, reducing traffic congestion through vehicle decongestion strategies, and increasing urban greenery to improve livability and environmental health. This integration ensures that climate action is not siloed but mainstreamed across all development priorities. Despite our best efforts, we encountered significant data limitations throughout the process, while demographic data such as age distribution, migration patterns, and labor force participation is available. We face critical gaps in other key areas. Specifically, we lacked real-time environmental hazard data, local scale sea level change data, and soil erosion data, disaggregated poverty data at the ward levels, gender-sensitive climate vulnerability indices. Due to these limitations, we had to rely on data from the Maldives census conducted by the Maldives Bureau of Statistics, which is conducted every 7 years and was last published in 2022. Additionally, the household income and expenditure survey we used is outdated considering economic dynamism. We have implemented minimum wage since the last survey. As a result, it was challenging to analyze correlations between demographic shifts and household income changes in relation to the most recent impact of climate change. Furthermore, there is currently no formal mechanism for data collaborations across agencies, which further hinders evidence-based planning and monitoring. The book you see here in the Maldives' third nationally determined contribution, the National Climate Action Plan towards Resilience and Low Carbon Development. However, Malay is mentioned only 3 times in the entire document, and those references are limited to historical information about Malay City and the Malay Declaration published in 1989. We urgently need a climate action plan at the local level that aligns with the national plan, and we must begin collecting climate data systematically. On this note, I would like to emphasize the importance of the voluntary local review process. It has played a crucial role in bridging these gaps by fostering stronger connections between our office and relevant departments, laying the groundwork for more integrated and informed decision-making moving forward. A key strength of our VLR process was inclusive stakeholder engagement. We facilitated two-way communications among all stakeholders. Firstly, the inception and orientation workshop with ICLI, UNESCAP, the Maldives Bureau of Statistics, God bless, and the Ministry of Finance and Planning. Maldives City benefited from the strong commitment of both the local government leadership and the Ministry of Finance and Planning to the VLR process. For new organizations aiming to undertake a VLR, it is crucial to involve the national government early on, as alignment with national priorities is essential. We also held a two-day stakeholder consultation workshop to co-create the VLR vision and prioritize SDGs. This included participation from government organizations, youth groups, NGOs, and academia. In April 2025, an orientation session for Maldives City Council staff on the SDGs was organized to enhance their understanding and engagement with the global sustainability framework. The session aimed to equip the City Council staff with the knowledge and tools necessary to integrate the SDGs into their day-to-day operations, supporting the development of the VLR for Maldives City. Additional activities included participatory questionnaires to gather both quantitative and qualitative insights, engagement with youth and civil society platforms to ensure marginalized voices were heard, and validation meetings to confirm that stakeholder inputs were reflected in the final document. This participatory approach built ownership and legitimacy throughout the process. One technical challenge we encountered was the mismatch of data years across indicators. For example, poverty data might be from 2020, while health data is from 2023. This inconsistency complicates analysis and undermines comparability. It underscores the need for synchronized and standardized data collection system at the local level. Moreover, climate data is very minimally collected and reported. Nationally, we also have a lot of gaps with climate data. To address these challenges and modernize governance, we launched several digital initiatives. The Digital Mala City initiative aims to enhance services delivery and citizen engagement. With digitalization of the data, it will enhance our next VLR, which will be done. GIS mapping supports special planning and disaster preparedness. We will be able to monitor future soil erosions by comparing GIS maps. A municipal data management unit was recommended in the VLR, establishing to centralize and manage city-level data. Since Mala City is run by several state-owned enterprises, hence it is essential to collect all relevant Mala City data in a central server and save it with our ownership. These tools are foundational for building a safe, inclusive, equitable, resilient, and sustainable island city. Forming a competent VLR core team was not easy. As a municipal service provider, our staff were not initially equipped for strategic planning and SDG reporting. We faced difficulty in identifying and committed focal points, made delays in moving ahead with the project, and gaps in technical competency. To overcome this, we included civil service staff in the core team, ensuring continuity and institutional memory. This approach also helped build long-term capacity for future VLRs. To address data challenges, we adopted a pragmatic strategy. We worked with available national level data, even if it was incomplete, because we waited for the perfect set of data, the VLR would still be incomplete. For climate change, we used the available data from National Disaster Management Agency about rain and flooding. We relied on secondary sources. We recognized the need to invest in time and human capital for future data collection and analysis. This experience taught us that even imperfect data can drive meaningful insights if we used wisely. Our VLR had tangible policy impacts. It will be an essential tool to inform the Strategic Action Plan 2026-2030, help identify gaps in SDG indicators, enable budget alignment with policy SDGs, and supported advocacy for increased focal physical autonomy. Moving forward, Mala City aims to finalize and implement city disaster management plan, developing a localized climate action plan, institutionalize SDG monitoring through an SDG cell, and strengthen partnership and stakeholder engagement. These steps will ensure that the VLR is not a one-time report, but a living framework for sustainable development. As a country in Global South, we have limited resources to plan climate change efficiently. The VLR is the foundation we have laid in adopting the SDGs in our strategic planning. I would highly recommend all the major cities to a VLR because it helps identify the gaps and a way forward even with so many limitations. Mala City Council stands unwavering in its commitment to localizing sustainable development goals. As a small island city on the front line of climate change, our vulnerabilities are real, but so is our determination. We are transforming challenges into opportunities through inclusive governance, forward-thinking policies, and meaningful global partnership. Our journey toward resilience is not one we walk alone. It is built on shared knowledge, mutual support, and the collective will to safeguard our communities and ecosystems for generations to come. Before I conclude, I would like to sincerely thank ICLEI and UNESCO for the invaluable technical support provided in completing the vital report for the future of Mala City. Their guidance has been instrumental in shaping our understanding and approach to climate resilience. As we look ahead, it is clear that our efforts must be matched with adequate resources. Climate adaptation in Mala City requires robust research, planning, and implementation, none of which can be achieved without sustainable financial support. We therefore call upon the global north and developed countries to step forward and support our journey. This is not merely a request for funding, it is a call for climate justice. Together, we can ensure that vulnerable urban communities like ours are not left behind in the global response to climate change. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Honorable. So we have heard from the mayor of Maldives, a small city which hosts almost 40% of the total population of the country in a small area, just 8 square kilometers. So we have heard from the mayors that the VLR has integrated climate resilience as a cross-cutting priority. It has focused on disaster management, stormwater systems, vehicle decongestion, and urban greening. So he has also mentioned about these gaps in data. And I think it's most of the countries that have experienced the same issue. So, but however, despite limited local data, especially on environmental hazards and poverty, Malay made progress by using secondary sources and working with available information. So the VLR has been inclusive, has involved youth, NGOs, academia, civil society, and they have conducted several workshops, and they have, again, conducted several questionnaires, and they have had validation meetings. So the challenges are especially on data gaps. So there is this need for integrated and more coordinated within the departments, in the municipalities, in the cities, in the regions. Also, there is a challenge on limited technical capacity and the need for stronger support. Yet, with all these challenges, the VLR of Malay has already influenced Malay's strategic action plan. And it's also on the budget alignment, and it's pushing for the greater local autonomy. So Malay experience shows us that, even in spite of all these constraints, when there is determination and decision by the local leaders, it is possible to achieve what they have said. And to conclude, the mayor has talked about climate justice. And soon we are going to have a COP30, which these issues are going to discuss, and it's also a shared concern for all of us who are here. So with this, I would like to invite the mayor of Suva to also share his experience and his learning throughout the process of VLR. Please.
Good morning, Mbola Binaka. First of all, I'd like to take this opportunity to thank the organizers for giving a very small island state an opportunity to come and share what we have done so far on the VLR. But before going into that, I think I'm from Fiji. Suva city is the main city there. In Fiji, we only have 2 cities, Suva and Lotoka. So we are from the Pacific. There you go. You can see that Suva is there. It's a very small island state. Fiji, in the Pacific, there are about 300 islands. We are surrounded by the sea. Wherever you are, you can see the sea. Even if you go inland, somewhere there in the uplands, you will be able to see the sea. So our lives is governed by the ocean, by the sea, by the beaches, you name it. And the ocean is beautiful. What I've been told when I was young, beauty normally goes attached with smallness. So the saying goes, small is beautiful. But nature, God is good, because when you're small, somewhere along the line, we'll balance it out. So we are small, but physically big, especially the ladies and the men. So there you are, we have Fiji. And Where the Suva is, you can see there, that's the mainland. And from the mainland, how big it is, I don't want to use the acres, hectares, how big it is. It's just that if you leave Suva, you go around the mainland, main island, you leave at 6, you go around, have your coffee along the way, you stop, you take a look out for the beautiful scenery. When you reach the city, after running around the island, you leave at 6 in the morning, you'll arrive at the city at 6 p.m. in the afternoon. So that's how small it is. And that's from the mainland. And just imagine the small ones. You just have to take a walk for 5 minutes, you reach the other side. And then we have, that's Suva. The sea. And what you can notice there, we have the parks. Just within that small area, we have 2 big parks. And we have 69 open spaces within the city of about 101,000 people. Small, but we have about 69 open spaces. And you will see there 2 there. That's within the city area. So, that's Suva. It was proclaimed as a city in 1953. The total land area is not big. The number of informal settlements is 27. And as I mentioned, the population city of Suva is 101,000 people. Multiracial, multicultural. But the natives has about 60% of the population. Then we have others, different ethnic groups. Then, now I think we are prepared to move into the VLR. And I'll start off with effect. That's another park. And you will see that we call it Zambure, which is more or less a house, a building. So fact number 1 is, the VLR is the first for a city or town in the Pacific. So I'm here on behalf of the Pacific Islands. This is the first VLR that we have come up with, and it's been launched earlier this year. So this is a presentation outline. I will try and keep it short, because otherwise I'll be repeating most of the things that have been shared from day 1. I'll try and keep it short. So the presentation outline, visioning Suva, introduction to the VLR processes, the 8 SDGs priority to Suva, and so on. So as I move on, I will be covering this outline or these contents. Visioning Suva, of course, we want Suva to be a resilient, smart city, and it's kind of governed by 8 SDGs. And the focus that we are on is in there. The economy for the future, we have unique identity and place, culture and tradition, climate and diversity, emergency, access and affordability, safety and well-being. And these are all covered, all captured under 8 SDGs, which I will cover later. For the VLR, first, this emerged from Fiji's second voluntary national review report that was presented to the UN high-level political forum in New York in July 2023. So after our country presented this report, then we work on the VLR. And that's the process. And if we quickly look through this process as a summary, the strategies that we used, of course, it's participatory, inclusive. And you will note that it involved 3 agencies or institutions, ESCAP, then we have Melbourne Centre, and Suva City Council, not forgetting the communities. And we had 3 consultations, workshops. And as I mentioned, those are the 8 priority SDGs for Suva, which more or less captured in our VLR report. Now, we want Suva to be a smart, safe, and resilient city. From the innovative technology perspective, what we have done is early this year, we have acquired one state-of-the-art server. And this server, we are working on it now, will more or less bring out what we have there. Number 1, the fast digital connectivity to enhance service delivery and transparency, surveillance and crime monitoring. We have installed some CCTV, etc., and it has worked. We just had a festival, a Suva City festival called a Hibiscus Festival, and there was a hit and run, and this new CCTV managed to capture the driver who tried to run away. Online service of platforms, increased digitalization of the issuing of permits, licenses, etc. The payment from cash-based revenue collections, right now we're just moving across to be digital. But we have seen that as we move for the areas that we have applied this, we can see the increase in revenue from the manual collections. And finally, the move from cash-based revenue collection, as I've mentioned. And on governance and urban living enhancement, as I mentioned, the information technology and data-driven, especially in the areas, residential areas, green technologies, and climate adoption, and of course, climate-proofing infrastructure against floods and sea level rise. So I mentioned that we actually look at 8 SDGs. So just allow me to focus on 2. One is SDG 11, the sustainable cities and communities. As I mentioned, our lives is governed by more or less the sea, the ocean. Even our culture is closely related to that. Proof, our names. My name is Tevita. Well, Tevita, that's from the Bible, David. My second name is Ngandru Lewu. Ngandru means sea snake. Lewu means big. So my second name is Big Sea Snake. My surname is Boseiwaqa. Bose means meeting, and Wanga means boat. So this sea snake and the boat are all connected to the sea, and most of us have that. And when we have this sea level rise, it disturbs what we value, what's in our hearts. And we are hurt when we see an increasing occurrence of coastal erosion, etc., etc. So basically, that's what we have done here from our urban coastal setting. we have tried to drive inclusive, climate-resilient infrastructure development, cultural preservation, and accessibility. Let me just explain this infrastructure development. Right now, we are redeveloping some of our existing structures. The roads now, because of sea level rise, the drainage cannot really, the water cannot flow out, especially in high tides. So some of the streets are filled with water. So we really have to relook at that sewage or the drainage on the ground to repair that so that the water can flow. Otherwise, there will be more floods within the city streets. And on the cultural preservation, we would like to maintain our culture of working together. That's something very important for us, very basics. What we have is our culture, and I believe that's one area that helps us to go through the difficult challenges that we have. Whether you are in the rural, in your villages, or whether we are in the city, culture is there. It's very important, and it helps us to do most of the things that we find it difficult to do it by yourself. So your community can help and assist. Second one, on zoning reforms, affordable housing, and upgrading informal settlements, our cultural identity, as I've said. And right now, we are just moving in slowly to technology, especially for zero carbon mechanism. We are beginning to introduce electrical vehicles. SDG 13, climate actions, mitigation emissions, protecting the biodiversity and climate-proofing infrastructure, which I've mentioned, citizen-driven biodiversity initiatives like urban gardens, as I've said. One of our main tools now is our communities. They come on board. They are already grouping themselves, are already form themselves into groups, either through their churches or their religions, or through their culture. So when we call, they're ready to come in groups. So then we have the emissions inventory and reduction targets. The key initiatives there is what I have mentioned already. Inclusive approach towards review processes. We found this very effective lately, to be inclusive, especially when the community comes on board. After we launch this VLR, we increase our connectivity with the communities to the extent that just early this month, we had what we call the Hibiscus Festival. That's the festival for the city, which is more or less the festival for the whole of Fiji. Everywhere they'll come and enjoy. So what we did through this, we have these communities coming on board, the community groups, we form, and they have a queen, contestants. We supported them. And also, through this, 1 week before the festival, we have this community social ills challenges awareness. So 1 week before, this awareness on drugs, HIV, and others. So they all come and we were promoting awareness. And with that, we also have sports for youths. And lately, I could see through these activities, they really come on board and help in cleaning up the city or in other ways. Data collection, it's a major challenge. You've heard that from the Maldives, so I won't really go through that. I've heard that it's more or less the same challenges and the bolts and nuts of it. Strategies in building trust and participation amongst communities. In short, we have to go out to them. Of course, we have monthly visits, 2 or 3, 1 in a week, for the communities to visit them, talk with them, we have these Talanoa sessions, just have a traditional drink and sit around and talk and singing and so on. And then we manage to get the information across. And they too, also informally, under informal situations, they are able to give us what they would like to share. So we found that through this, we are able to build up the trust between the council and the communities. So basically, that's more or less covers up whatever is there. And lessons learned for other small island development stage. First, we cannot work in silos. We have to work in partners, and we have to take a multi-level approach. Number two, the common challenges. We found out that with whatever common challenges that you face, in your own context, you can find solutions. It doesn't really mean that the solutions in very developed countries can help to solve our problems there. We listen to the best practices, we look at what we have, and in the context we apply. That's something that we have learned, and it works. Number three, reversals, putting the last first. You can apply this in many areas. You reverse some of the things that we are doing now and putting what used to be last to be the first. I've given one example, which is the communities. The community seems to be the last, especially those underprivileged, the marginalized, those who stay in the informal settlements. But now we are putting them first. We go out there, we hear them, and they're coming on board and help paddle the canoe for betterment. So finally, we are now working on our 5-year strategic development plan. We are working on it now. So work the plan. We are working on it. We are planning. And after that, we should work the plan. We work the plan. We should make sure that is done. So with those few words, I thank you for listening. And I'm prepared that for further questions you can ask during the question and answer session. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you, Honorable Boseiwaqa, also for introducing the beautiful country of Fiji, the way you describe it. And thank you for sharing the process you have gone through your VLR. So we have understand from Fiji's, from Suva's VLR, that the city's vision is clear. It's to be inclusive, to be climate resilient, and they are having this vision of having a vibrant hub for business and culture. So he has mentioned something is a very key issue, bringing the last first, which are the communities. And it has been a very good example in Suva because they have worked with the informal settlements, where the most marginalized people of the cities lived. So it has been a process where it has been a very participatory process, so where they have engaged, as the mayor has said, youth, women's groups, civil societies, and also technical support. So for them, the VLR is not just a report of the process, but it's also a strategic tool that is guiding Suva's the 5-year development plan. So he has mentioned also about the innovative, the innovations they have. They have this smart surveillance. They have also this electric mobility, and they are working on this climate-proof infrastructure, being, the way where Fiji is located at. But again, the issue of data is there. So, but as he has said, we are innovative. So we work with the tools we have, and we adapt to them, and they will build based on those. So Suva has done the same. So they have worked in the informal settlements through trust-based community engagement. So there are it's the first VLR in the Pacific Islands. So I think it's a very good example for the other countries to follow. And we also, from the UN system, we will continue supporting these countries to work through, but also to implement. And with this, I would like to invite now Dr. Kanop Ketchart, Mayor of Nahkon, Thammarat. Please, Mayor. Thank you.
Good morning, distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen, and thank you for the invitation. It's an honor to be here, and I would like to thank Mr. Mayor and the wonderful people of beautiful Toyota City for your hospitality. Our city, Nahkon Thammarat, is a historic city founded more than 1,500 years ago. The city prospered as the educational and cultural capitals of southern Thailand. Our long history reflects in various aspects, such as religious ceremonies, architecture, and temples. So the city has taken delicate steps to harmonize a balanced combination of prestigious history and remarkable urbanization. Listening to the people, enhancing public participation is our core value. The implementation of all city projects is based on a people-centric strategy. The outline of my presentation, I will share with you city data and go through our smart city projects, followed by a VLR process, implementation, and keys to success. We are a historic and cultural city with a population of 150,000. Our main revenues are from education and tourism. We have around 3 million tourists annually. And we are winner of Smart City of Thailand for 3 years in a row. That's our VLR 2022 with the guidance of the UN Habitat and UN SCAP. Smart City app is a simple, easy to use mobile platform. We encourage and empower citizens to complain and to report directly to the city through their mobile phone. And we train 2,000 high school student volunteers to help senior citizens so they can use this platform as well as the young generation. So far, we have around 110,000 users in our platform. That is 70% of the city population belong to this platform. And we have solved 37,000 complaints within 48 hours. 48 hours is a magic number for strong commitment of the city. Or the locals say, if our complaint is not finished in 48 hours, then the mayor is finished. That's how we have to make a strong commitment. After we finish solving each complaint, the resident must evaluate our performance one by one. So we collect all the data. That's very important. And we receive 88% of happy faces, 5-star from our residents. And the city used the complaint data as a big data, available information for city planning and budget allocation. As you see on the right side, that's a city map with the locations of complaints. Flood control using a mobile app. We install cameras along rivers that flow to the city to see water levels in real-time fashion. And we share this information to the public. What you see on the screen is the same screen that our residents will see in their mobile phone. So they have the real-time information of water level that will affect their properties. We also have cameras for pumping station as well. We have sensor, of course, but sometimes we have plastic bag to block, and the water pumps don't work. So 5 minutes or 10 minutes make a big difference in flooding prevention. The app serves as a center for all parties: city residents, disaster prevention units, hospital, schools, volunteers. Use the same app, the same real-time information. So we can work together to respond promptly in a timely manner for flooding. And so far, there are very minimum flooding damage. There are some flooding, of course, but the damage is very minimum. You can see the top one, that's before we implement this project, and the bottom one, the last 3 years, almost zero at the same location. Healthcare, hospital on wheel. The city has a hospital to take care of our residents, but older people and persons with disability still have difficulties coming to the hospital for doctor appointments. So we have a team of doctors, nurses, and medicine riding on a smart bus we call Hospital on Wheels. And this bus has an internet connection, high speed, connect to the main hospital. So we can provide health care at home for 4,400 older people in our city. Next one is in education. We provide metaverse classroom. It is virtual reality technology in real life and in real classroom. In our city schools with 11,000 students, ranging from kindergarten to high school levels, and also for underprivileged students in temple schools as well. Students, or poor students, they go to a temple school. To use this frontier technology in a city outside Bangkok is not that easy, but we have to work together. We create a sandbox strategy and a smart city ecosystem to attract fundings from university in Bangkok and from a private company in the USA to invest their technology in our school system. Next is about low-income families. To show that SDG is a tangible, a concrete things that they can feel, they can touch, they can benefit. We have historical and cultural markets. We leverage history and culture as tangible assets for low-income families. The city market provides free space for 400 vendors from low-income families. And we train them with our history, our culture, and our agreement come to conclusion that we have to sell happiness, not items, in this market. The VLR process, people participation is the most important factor for VLR process and implementation. After the process, we have a report, VLR 2022, as a guideline with the international standard. Also, in Thailand, we have a national local performance assessment from federal government with the SDG framework that you can see. There's a SDG at the bottom of the cover page. So all the local government has to follow this assessment to get a high score. And finally, we have budget ordinance of the city for budget allocation. After we have people participation, we have a guidance, a map. Then we go to actions. The city and the people must work together to take action for the SDGs. For example, big cleaning day in community every Friday to turn our city to become a city without a trash bin. You have to carry your garbage or your trash in your pocket, walking around in our city. And religious ceremony, working together, city and the people, to attract 20,000 tourists to one ceremony to drive the economy. And because we received a high score in the performance assessment under the SDG framework, this year we received a prestigious Prime Minister Award with just a prize money that we have to decide with the community what to do with the money. That's the easy thing to do. The keys to success of our journey. First, implementation of simple, easy to use, and robust technologies. Second, strong commitment and constant communication between the city and the people. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Mayor Ketchart, sorry. Yes, okay. So thank you very much for your presentation. We have seen that your city, it's becoming a model of a smart city in Thailand. So we have seen that the smart city app has been created where citizens can complain, and these complaints are responded during 48 hours. You have more than 30,000 users already. So you also have mentioned about using technology on this hospital on wheels that are serving now about 5,000 elderly and disabled residents. The mayor has also shared what they are doing with the smart technologies, the metaverse classrooms, for example, and then also supporting the low-income vendors, with the inclusion to these markets where they have opportunities, as he has said. It's not just selling items, but it's also having happiness. So the voluntary local review started in 2022, and now it's embedded in the budgeting planning. So and these efforts have been very much been highlighted, and they are going to get the award from the Prime Minister this year. So you see in this presentation from the mayor, he has also mentioned the same key aspect, inclusive. It's a community approach where the VLR's process are conducted. He has also mentioned about the use of technology, how important it is. And then with this, I would like to ask Ms. Kalamatila to please join us, and thank you. And we are going a little bit ahead of time because we have a short summary at the beginning. So please, I will request you for your presentation. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Good morning, everyone. Distinguished ladies and gentlemen, I'm thrilled to be here. Thank you so much for inviting me all the way from Zambia, Lufwanyama Town Council, the first mayor after 8 men, the first female mayor. Back home, SDG number 5 is a challenge. That's why we're pushing hard as women so that we are on the same table where decision-making laws are made. When it comes to localization of VLR in my district, the voluntary local review in Lufwanyama was initiated to ensure that national and global SDGs commitments translate into practical community-level results. As a district, we recognize the local governments as the closest to people. We understand that if the SDGs are to succeed, they must take root in local realities, in our villages, in our wards, and in our schools and health centers. Our vision is to make global goals local actions, ensuring that every resident of Lufwanyama benefits from inclusion and sustainable development, and that no one is left behind. The VLR aligns our local planning and budgets with Zambia's 2030, the 8th National Development Plan, and the UN 2030 Agenda. This helps us to measure and report our contributions to national progress while keeping accountability at the grassroots level. The purpose of VLR, this is a tool that helps Lufwanyama achieve the SDGs, identify areas of progress, gaps, and strengthen our future planning through evidence-based data. Our VLR process is inclusive, participatory, and institutionally supported. The initiative is championed by my office, in collaboration with the District Commissioner's Office and the District Development Coordinating Committee. Multi-stakeholder task force. We established an SDG task force composed of local government departments. We've got different departments in our local council. So we called them to involve them as we were doing the VLR. Traditional leaders. Lufwanyama is in the rural of Zambia. So we've got traditional leaders. In my district, we've got about 6 of them. Also civil society and mining companies. I come from a district where emeralds, if not the best in the world, we've got 2 giant mines which mine emeralds. So we do involve them when it comes to development. We also invited the women cooperative groups and youth cooperative groups. This is to ensure that there is inclusiveness. And this enables the broad ownership of the community so that they can buy in. The data and planning integration. The SDGs are now being mainstreamed into our district integrated development plans, IDP, and budgets. Each department now links its work to relevant SDGs, and for example, health. We sit with health and look at their needs. I would love to take this opportunity to thank our president, who increased the money that we call Constituency Development Fund. This money helps us to do projects at local level. Unlike the funds coming from central government, but it comes down to local government and the decisions are made at local level. We've got the lowest unity of the council, which we call Ward Development Committee. And this committee, people are picked in different areas in a ward. A ward is the smallest unity of the local authority. They pick the challenges, they submit to the council, and then we see which project is priority in that ward. So for example, the health department, SDG number 3, we have built about 8 maternity wings. This is to help health facilities, bringing them closer to the people. And this maternity annexes, they are modern. I say so because coming from a rural area, they are modern in the sense that they've got water reticulation, a borehole has to be drilled, they have got electricity, we have to put a solar panel on top of that maternity annex so that we've got power. Also SDG number 3, which is SDG number 4, which is education. Using this fund, we've been able to do about 45 projects in my district. These include also the schools. In some areas, pupils used to walk long distances to access education, but we've been building schools closer to the people. SDG number 5, which is gender, and I happen to be the gender local government chairperson, and she's my vice. So whenever we are making these plans as a local authority, we have to prioritize women. Huh? Women, you're not clapping? Thank you. Thank you so much. Community engagement is so vital when it comes to initiating and implementing of these SDGs. Regular consultations are held in our wards to understand the local needs. Chiefs and headmen are key voices in this dialogue, ensuring our processes respect local culture and inclusiveness. Innovative approaches and practices adopted. Being in a rural district, Lufwanyama has adopted creative collaboration and impactful approaches to localizing SDGs. We are using public-private partnerships, PPP. For example, we collaborate with the mining companies to also help us build health facilities and schools. I may say these mines, they support us. For example, for Kajim, they have helped us to build a school that has got internet connectivities. And this has helped to bridge infrastructure gaps in undeserved areas. Empowering women and persons with disabilities under SDG number 5, the Council has prioritized women inclusion in decision-making and economic empowerment. So, like I alluded to, when they sit to choose the clubs, the cooperatives, they prioritize the women cooperatives. There is one cooperative that consists of the disabled, the marginalized. We gave them from the same Constituency Development Fund, there is a component of loans and grants. So we gave this group of the disabled a grant, and they are doing very fine. They bought goats, about 40 of them, and they are doing very fine. That will help them. And they testified when I visited them that it has helped them. If there is a need for them to take children to school, buy uniforms, they sell the goats. Economically, they are doing very fine. When it comes to SDG number 6, that is water and sanitation in my district, we have drilled about 52 boreholes because we do not have tap water yet, so we do drill boreholes. We've done 52 boreholes and constructed about 5 water schemes. The water schemes, the way it is done, you drill a borehole, put up big tanks, like 10,000 tanks, then you put up water points. They go in the villages where people can access clean water. When it comes to SDG number 13, climate action, we were not spared. 2023-2024 season, we were badly hit we didn't have rains back home, and the president initiated what we call the fund Cash for Work. So this money helped women and youth groups. When they do some work, they are paid. They are paid some money just to cushion the drought that we had. Up to this time, they are still doing that work, and it has helped our city, our district very much. We are able to give the youths and women to clean, so the city is clean, to unblock the blocked drainages so that we are not affected by floods. So this is a plus. We really appreciate our president for that initiative. It has lifted the economic status of women and youth in our districts. Data driven decision-making. Through our VRR, we are strengthening data collection and monitoring frameworks using local indicators aligned with the SDGs. This improves transparency and helps track progress meaningfully. However, we've got challenges, and let me just allude to the fact that we've got challenges in our districts, and this is how they are tackled. While progress has been made, we face several challenges, typically of developing rural districts, but we are turning them into opportunities. My district is very, very vast. It has about 120 people, 120,000 people. That's the population, and it's very vast. Yes, it's very vast. So we're hoping when the president does the limitation, it can be cut into 2 districts so that a development comes fast to our district. When I mentioned about the finances also, the CDF is not enough because of the vastness of the district. If it's cut into constituencies, then we'll have 2 CDF, one for this constituency and the other one for this. And development that way, it will happen very, very fast. Limited financial resource is also a challenge, and we depend upon central government allocations, which sometimes it delays our initiatives. CDF, it is money that comes in quarters. It doesn't come at once. So at times we can have programs we want to do. We want to like build schools, but when it delays, it means we will delay also in implementing our programs. Data gaps is also a challenge. Lack of reliable local data makes it hard to measure SDGs progress accurately. We are strengthening our planning department's capacity and partnering with Zambia statistics agents to improve local data systems. Capacity constraints. Some departments lack SDG awareness or integration skills. For this one, we are conducting SDG awareness workshops for council staff and ward development committees so that they align their projects with the SDGs.
Excuse me, Mayor. We are running a little of time. Thank you. Thank you so much.
I'm about to conclude. Let me just go to reflections and key takeaways. Localization as a transformation. SDGs localization has helped us to shift from projects to people-centered development where communities identify their own priorities. Lufwanyama experience shows that even with limited resources, strong leadership, community inclusion, and partnerships can drive meaningful progress. Enhanced evidence-based reporting through the VOA helps us track and demonstrate impact while guiding future investments. Women at the center. Women empowerment has proven to be a catalyst for broader development. Our success on SDG number 5 continues to inspire other local councils in Zambia. And in conclusion, commitment to 2030 agenda. We reaffirm our dedication to the 2030 agenda and see the VLR not as an end, but as a continuous process for improvement and collaboration. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Thank you, Ms. Kalamatila. Sorry for the time. We have seen that SDGs localization is not only for the cities, but also for the rural areas. And we have seen this example from Zambia, which the mayor is leading. And she also is a very, as we have seen from her presentation, a very strong advocate for women's rights and women empowerment. And we see that it's being advanced SDG 5. So we thank you very much, Mayor. And of course, it's a district with limited financial resources. But as we have said through the presentations, we in our countries, especially the developing countries, we are very innovative. So we work what we have to make things possible. And I think this is the process that the Mayor is following. And then, as what she has said, it's important the engagement of community. This is a community-driven approach where the community comes and talks about their needs, and the government responds based to those needs. So it's a bottom-up approach. So, sorry, we have run out of time, so we don't have really time for questions, but I think it has been a very inspiring session from different regions of the world. And please, I don't know if we will have a coffee break. Maybe not. So please, during lunchtime, if you can partnership and exchange. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Thank you very much, Oddy.